In this video, we're gonna build out a random password generator. This isn't gonna be some kind of fancy app. No, this is really designed to show you what's happening behind the scenes. We're gonna write out a program that generates a random password using the string and secrets module. I'll show you some of the best practices, and you're gonna get the opportunity to learn how we can bridge together really any character on the keyboard to create a secure and random password for your programs. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back, guys, for another episode of Code with Josh. Now, for obvious reasons, I'm Josh, and I'm stoked to have you guys here. Before I dive into this episode, help me out, help out the channel. Hit that like button and subscribe. If you get value from my videos, you like this kind of stuff, whatever it is, that really does help out the channel. Now, today's video, we're just gonna go back and we're gonna build out a program, not some fancy app, okay? Because I really want you guys to see what's happening behind the scenes. How do we create code that, one, can be reused, but two, can actually generate random secure passwords? We're going to be using the string module, which is going to allow us to access different levels on the keyboard, from lowercase, uppercase, symbols, all that fun stuff. And we're going to be using the secrets module to help create a secure random password. I'm going to break it all down. You're going to drop questions you have in the comments so I can help you guys out if you get stuck. Before we jump right into this video, okay, the first link in the description, I have just released to you guys a free Python course. This is dedicated to those of you who are wanting to get started with Python. It covers the pure basics to help you get going. And funnily enough, this is actually a little piece of my Python masterclass that I'm giving to you guys. So you can really get things broken down. You can see my teaching style, and I just hope you get value from it. So if you're new to Python, you want my free course, whatever it is, head on down, check it out, first link in the description, and drop questions you have in the community. I'm going to be there to help you guys out. All the other links in the description for my Python newsletter, my ebooks, our Discord, that's all down there to help you guys grow in Python. So check them out. All right, let's jump into why you're all here. Let's start making some random passwords.
All right, guys, so just jumping right into VS Code, this has been requested before, and it's not going to be an application, but we're going to build out a simple script program to generate random passwords and make them very, I'll call them secure, okay, because they're going to have letters, numbers, characters, and you're going to get the chance to use two different Python modules, strings and secrets. All right, and you'll just get to work with these and really see how we can tap into them. Now, the first thing we're going to do here is I'm going to import strings, okay? And we're going to import secrets. Now, secrets is specifically designed for working with this type of stuff, right? Security sensitive stuff. It's going to allow us to make these classified passwords come out to play, right? So if we're going to start, I mean, I don't need to put this in a function, but we're going to code reusability here. Let's define a function. Let's just call this make secure password, I suppose. And I'm going to give it some information it needs. So the password is going to need a length. Okay. And I'll just run this through a few different scenarios. Let's say include uppercase and include numbers. Okay, because I can make this as unique as we want it to be. And then include symbols. Now, actually, what we're going to do here is I will make these keyword arguments. So let's just say include symbols for now. All of these can just be, I'll set these to true. And let's just say the length for now is 16. Okay, so here we have a function. Making a secure password. Now, the length of the password by default, we can put a default, include uppercase. All of these will just be the default value, right? If we want to change this when we call the function, that's fine, we can, but we don't have to worry about this at a later stage. What we want to do is I want to start by building, I'll just say base password. And I'll create a variable called characters, chars, and we're just going to say string ascii letters, okay? Now, actually, we're going to use lowercase for this one. And this is going to start by just giving us random letters. Now, based on this, we want to build this out. I want to continue to add to it. So basically, the first letter it's going to be lowercase, right? I can come down here and I can say if include uppercase, if that's true, which it is. Let's just go through these. If include numbers is true, which it is, and if include symbols is true. We want to add to this, right? So you can think of this as like a random letter Z. It's lowercase. I now want to start to add things onto this. Okay, we start with that. Let's start with uppercase. I'm going to take my existing variable and we can add letters onto it. So this time I'm doing uppercase. I'm going to say string. We're going to tap in now and I'm going to do uppercase. Great, done. Include numbers this time. What do we want to do for this? Chars plus equal string digits. I can add numbers using the digits property from the string module. And then symbols. What do we want to do? We're going to take our chars. We're going to say plus equal. Anytime you want to access that, you can say punctuation. Okay, so this is now adding random things onto the end of it. All right, I don't really have a say in what that is. We're trying to generate a random password here. Okay, now next up, I have my characters. I want to make the password. And I want to join these letters together randomly. Now, I didn't use random, right? I actually used something called secrets, but I'm going to use something here. You don't have to import this, right? We know that we have choice, okay? Choice is from random. This allows you to choose a random item from an iterable in Python. Now, this is not secure at all. Secrets has the same thing called choice, but it's more secure, especially for this type of stuff. So I can still use choice, but we're going to tap into the secrets one. Now I'm going to take my password and I want to join together. Okay, what do you want to join together? Well, I'm going to say secrets.choice. Okay, so it's going to allow me to make a random choice from my characters. All right, so this, every time that this runs, okay, it's going to have, I have what here? Uppercase. So I'll put an uppercase letter, I'll put a number, and we'll put a symbol. This is going to have 4 characters every time. And this is going to randomly choose one of the 4 characters, right? And I can now tell it how many times to run. So for whatever, in range, let's just put here the length of the password, right? So this could run 5 times. Every 5 times, this is new, and it's going to take a single one from each of these. All right, that's kind of what's happening here. So string is giving us access to these random elements, lowercase, uppercase, digits, and punctuation, okay? And it's assembling, let me make this clearer, it's assembling a 4-character random sequence. That's all that's happening here. Now that I have a 4-character random sequence, password is going to choose one of these 4 items, and it's going to then put it here. So for example, A, okay? This is then going to run again. It's going to go B, 8, I have B, Y, 8%. This time it's going to run again, and it's going to take a random element from these characters. How many times is it going to run? Well, I've set it initially to 16. This could change, right? That's pretty much what's happening here. All right, so our password is being randomly selected when we're building out this password here. Since we have this password, I want to perform one final check because, okay, I'm using random here. So there is a very, very small chance that the password, it doesn't actually contain any uppercase or it doesn't contain any numbers or symbols. That's a very small chance, but it could happen. And I want to ensure that no matter what, my password has at least one of each, okay? So we need to kind of create a condition in a way to ensure that it meets all the requirements here. So down here, I'm gonna be like, ensure the password meets the criteria, which it needs one of each at least as the minimum. What I can do here is I'll say while true, and I'm just going to make a list called conditions, okay? And what I can do is I'm going to append to conditions the letters out of this. So what we could do, let's say conditions append. I'm going to use any actually, right? So any allows us, it's going to return true or false if any match within an iterable. So I need like some type of iterable. So any. So if I say like c dot lower conditions, yeah, let's do that. If c dot lower, and then let's do for c in characters, or I guess for character in, I'm going through password now. Okay, so I'm going to append. I'm going to go through my password. If there is a single lowercase there, if I have any lowercase at all, this is true. It's going to append it to my condition. Okay, so that's the first check. Our next check would be like if include uppercase. If that is true, I want to perform the next check. So conditions, if I come down here, if I say c dot, this time we can say is upper because it should already be uppercase. Right? So if it is uppercase, we're going to append it to condition. Okay, moving on, we can say if include numbers this time. We're going to come down here, copy this condition. If instead of is upper, what do we want to use here? If is digit. Great. Then our last one, we're just going to throw in here. We're going to say if include symbols is true. We're going to paste our condition. This one needs to be changed, but so far we've checked for lowercase, we've checked for upper and numbers. You don't need this, but remember, we're trying to ensure they meet a specific criteria. Let's refactor this. Okay, so I'm going to create C. C is essentially a letter. So if C is in string dot punctuation, and then we can go for C in password. Okay, so that should return true if we have any type of punctuation. Okay, awesome. Every time this loop runs, I need to make sure that all these conditions are met. Any is only checking if one item is true in the iterable, right? So if this is true one time, it succeeds. That's what any does. But now at the end, I'm going to say if all conditions are true. All means all of them have to be true in order for all to evaluate as true. If one of them is wrong, it switches to false. Okay, so if those conditions are true, I'm just going to break. I'm going to stop my loop. Remember, while loop, you always need a way to end it. Okay, now that I'm on the end here, let's just take our password. I'm going to put that here at the end. Password is join. Okay, now I don't really have to change anything here. All I'm going to do at the bottom of the function now is I'm just going to return password. Okay, this here in itself is going to generate you a random password if I've done everything correct. So now comes time to do a little bit of testing. Let's assume our function is done, which I don't think we have to assume here. It actually is done. So if name is equal to main. Okay, we can run this a few times. Let's just be like print password examples. Okay. And I'll just go down here. I'm going to print, let's print a few times. So print. Okay. So in the first one, let's just say default password. And I'm just going to put here 16. Okay, so it should default me the length of the normal one. I'm going to call my function make secure password. I don't need to give anything here because remember, it already has the keyword arguments, the default parameters. Right, so just by running this now, let's just make sure the first one even works before we carry on with the next. Boom, look at that. We have created, oh, this is actually a part of it. I've created this random password. You're not getting into someone's account with that. All right, now let's tweak a few things. Although we didn't have that, right, now we could change things. So for example, let's make like easy password. And for this, let's just say 12 characters, non-number. Sure. In this case, let's call make secure password. And this time I'm going to say length is equal to 8, right? That's a shorter password. And I'm going to say include numbers is equal to false. Okay, that's going to work. So I'll try it here at the end. And then let's do the last one. Let's call this numbers. No. Let's do symbols and numbers. That would make for a unique one. Okay, we're going to call our password, make secure password. Let's actually make this one crazy. Let's go all out here. Let's say length is equal to 32 this time. If this is only symbols and numbers, I'm going to say include uppercase as false. And I guess, well, symbols, let's do letters, right? Because I have it set here that no matter what, right, it's going to have a character because I have include uppercase, include numbers and symbols. So let's do symbols and letters. So include numbers, we're going to remove from that. But you can play around with this, guys, right? The whole point of this is to show you I made a reusable secure function here that takes different keyword arguments, and you can see that it now generates. And this gave you an introduction to the string module for Python, which allows you to really tap into and access different use cases of the strings, the digits, the punctuation, all that fun stuff. And then we use secrets. Now, secrets in this case is kind of like random, but it's more secure, especially for this type of work. In a future video, I will actually cover hashing and talk about that kind of stuff and how we can make secure things, or secure code, excuse me, not really things. But until then, we now have a random password generator. Well done.
And there you guys have it. We built out a function that takes these keyword arguments, these default parameters we set, to actually go through the steps and generate a rather secure password here in Python. Okay, I hope I got to break this down for you guys to a level that you could understand. If you thought so, or you got value from this video, hit the like button, drop a comment, subscribe, okay? Because my goal is to help you guys grow and kind of understand these topics. I've been in your shoes. Sometimes it sucks, all right? I wish I had this content when I was starting out too. So let me know your thoughts. Hit the like button. Remember, guys, the first link in the description, that is my free Python course, The Pure Basics of Python. If you're new to Python, you don't know where to get started, check that out. All the other links I have down there are dedicated to you guys to help you grow, and I'm sure you're going to find something there to help you, no matter what it is, all right? Well, guys, that's all for this week's episode of Code with Josh. Until next time, Python crew, I will see you then.